Hypoxia, lost level, is an important feature for all solid tumors. In my MPhil study, a powerful functional genome-wide CRISPR library screening was employed to identify novel therapeutic targets for the survival of liver cancer cells under hypoxia. Protein tyrosine phosphate mitochondrial 1, PTPMT1, ranks the third, right after the HEAF1 complex, the famous master regulator for hypoxia response. PTPMT1 is an important metabolic regulator to prevent excessive accumulation of reactive oxygen species produced from mitochondria under hypoxia. The implications of my study goes beyond PTPMT1 because my study provides an exhaustive list of other druggable targets with potential translational value to not only liver cancer, but also all other solid tumor types.
Marcus is an inquisitive, smart, diligent, and responsible student. Worth mentioning, he is gifted with many talents. He loves sports and he brought our team to many exciting hiking adventures. Also, he is a professional musician. He occasionally played violin in my lab during the festive seasons. Marcus is really an amazing student. I'm thankful to have him. So proud of him as the recipient of the Ka Shing Prize of this year.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my supervisor and mentor, Dr. Carmen Wong, for her continuous guidance and support throughout my study to make my MPhil study so fruitful and rewarding. I would also like to thank my co-supervisor, Professor Irene Ng, and our lab's close collaborator, Dr. Jack Wong, for their great contributions to my study. I also like to thank my family for their great love and support, and of course, my lab mates for their kind assistance, harmony, and friendship.
During my MPhil studies at HKU, I researched on the ethics of migration with Professor Scott Witt and Professor Uwe Stanhoff. In my thesis, I argue for a moral right to immigrate. That is, all private individuals have a moral right to enter and settle in a state of their own preference. In arguing for this position, I adopt the method of logical extension. I'm concerned with what inference one should draw from a strong moral commitment that everyone, regardless of citizenship, has a moral right to domestic migration and a moral right to exit any state, to the question of immigration.
As one of our supervisors, I'm absolutely delighted that Elaine has been awarded a Ka Shing Prize for her research. On behalf of myself and the law faculty, I'd like to congratulate her. Elaine was a wonderful student, dedicated, hard-working, enthusiastic, curious, the very best virtues that one could hope for in a research student. I'm sure Elaine will go on to great things, and we wish her all the very best in her doctoral studies.
Many people have assisted me throughout my MPhil studies. More specifically, I would like to thank Professor Scott Witt for his kind guidance and support throughout my studies. I would also like to thank Professor Uwe Stanhoff for his helpful comments on my quizzes.
My dissertation studies how information and belief formation affect financial market and the macroeconomy. Understanding the expectations formation process is very important in macroeconomics and finance. Any economic models need to start from a benchmark in modeling how people form expectations. The workhorse hypothesis used by economists for decades is the representative agent model with rational expectations. However, recent evidence from the survey data often finds that this hypothesis is violated and people seem to be irrational. In my paper, however, I developed a model to provide a unified explanation for these facts, but under a rational framework.
In my view, Leila is the best PhD student in economics and finance. She not only knows how to solve difficult theoretical models, but also knows how to do careful computational and empirical analysis. Leila is the best student I have ever advised in HKU. I'm very proud of Leila for getting the prize.
Please allow me to make a special mention of appreciation for my supervisor, Professor Yulei Luo, and my school supervisor, Professor Thomas Mara. It would not have been possible for me to be successful without the inspirations I have received from them. I'm also fortunate to have received so much support from both HKU economics and finance faculties.
To release the pressure of water crisis, membrane-based RO technology has played a crucial role in freshwater production around the world. My thesis work focused on tailoring the surface structure of thin-film composite RO membranes for desalination and water reuse. I developed a new theoretical framework of nanofoaming chemistry, which provides critical guidance to membrane design and synthesis for more efficient freshwater production.
I'm proud of Alpha. Her thesis work is fascinating. She paved a fundamental framework for tuning morphology of RO membranes. She published 6 papers as the first author in prestigious journals, including a highly cited hot paper. She also won the championship of HKU's 3-minute thesis competition. Way to go!
I am grateful to my supervisor, Professor Chu Yang-Tang, for his advice, support, and encouragement in my PhD study. His enthusiasm on research inspires me a lot. Sincere thanks to my research group members, especially to Dr. Guo Hao for their warm help and supporting my PhD career. Thanks to my family and friends for their warm company. Special thanks to my husband, Dr. Wu Ziqi, for his love, care, and supporting my life.
My PhD study has been focused on the identification of new therapeutic targets for liver cancer treatments. Despite several targeted as well as immunotherapies have been approved in recent years for liver cancer, their effects are only modest and patients still present resistance. We therefore focus on a histone chaperone complex, effect complex, that is highly expressed in liver cancer and facilitates the transcription elongation of stress response genes to help cancer cells adapt to stress conditions. Combined therapies by targeting this complex remarkably sensitize the anti-cancer effects of hepatic artery ligation surgery and current HCC drugs.
Jialin is a very talented and motivated student. She can understand very sophisticated concepts easily. Jialin is always willing to take new challenges with great passion and curiosity. Jialin's study is highly novel, which not only discovers new mechanisms of liver carcinogenesis, but also shed light on the development of new cancer treatments. It is my pleasure to have Jialin as my PhD student.
I would like to thank my dear teammates, Professor Rimmer and Dr. Carmen Wang, for their support always through my study. Especially, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to my supervisor and mentor, Dr. Jack Wang, for his guidance and encouragement throughout my PhD study.
My research examines how discourse shapes development and consumption in the contexts of the environment, tourism, and social media. In my PhD research, I investigated the languages, narratives, and imagery shaping the construction of Myanmar as a new tourism destination, revealing the colonial ideologies that underpin global tourism and locating discourse as a prime agent in development.
Sean has been publishing new research in elite international journals. He started a postdoc in Belgium, conducted fieldwork in Oman, secured a permanent full-time, yes, that is tenured position in the Netherlands. A new international star is born.
I'd like to thank my supervisors, Chair Professor Adam Jaworski and Professor Julia Kuhn, who really were brilliant mentors, guiding me through the writing and research process and also the idiosyncrasies of academia. I'm also very grateful to my colleagues at the School of English, and HKU is truly an excellent place to do research. And most especially, I want to thank my wife, Jessica Cunha. Neither the degree nor the award would have been possible without her.